Welcome back everybody to Tony's Top Tips Workshop. I'm quite excited today because I've been waiting for this item for quite a number of weeks. When it first came out, I thought it would have come sooner. It made it appear when I purchased it that it was only a short delay. Well, I've been waiting quite a while for it, and it's the Sunlu Filament Connector. Okay, you've all heard about it and seen it. I don't know, I haven't looked to see whether there's any reviews on YouTube. It's the FC01. Okay, I purchased it. It's about £30, something like that, just over. And I purchased some extra connectors. That's the sleeves that go over. I've not opened it yet, so it's going to be an unboxing to see what's in. And then I've got some filaments that I use. I haven't got everybody's filament, but what I use, because the reason why I purchased this is one thing is, right, this is Bamboo Labs basic PLA. I'll just show you that before I open the box. Bits there, bits there, bits on the rail, and I've some more down there. And yes, the Bamboo Labs printers are very good when they run out of filament. You just reload it. I've never had an issue. Even overnight it ran out, and I just went in the following morning, put some new filament, and off it went, and you couldn't even tell where it had started again. But all the other printers I have aren't as good as that. So you wouldn't risk thinking, well, have I got enough, and it's a long print. So you end up inevitably with a lot of bits like that. And what you tend to do is either I use them in my 3D printer pen, little pen that I have for the 3D modelling, but I also throw a lot away, small pieces. I no longer have to do that. So what I'm going to show you today is the unboxing, and I'm going to show you, see how it works, because it'd be interesting. Because what I will do now is, like the Bamboo Labs green, any bits that I have from filament now, I put them in a seal bag. Don't leave them in the open. I put them in a seal bag, take the air out. I have a little vacuum pump that does it. And what I'm going to do is, the green basic PLA that I have on one of the printers upstairs, I shall join all these together, and then I shall pull the leading edge off the filament roll, and I shall connect these on. So hence there should be no more now of throwing filament away. Now I don't know what filaments it does until I get in and look at the instructions. So what I'll do now is, further ado, is unbox it. It's only a small package, as I say. Right, one set of instructions, or instructions, whichever you want to call it. I'll just have a look, see what it says. Well, the filament it says here is filament material, which it will do is PCL, PLA, ABS, PETG, PA and PC, and it gives you the times. There's a little sort of table there. Some of these I don't use any some of these. I predominantly use HIPS, ABS, PLA, and I've used a little bit of PETG, but I don't use that much of it. In fact, I got a 500 gram reel and that's long since gone. So I don't, but it's mostly PLA and ABS and HIPS. So, and I've got the samples of those today, so we could try. It looks like a good set of instructions, but we shall see. That's the unit there. Okay, I'll show you a close-up of it. I'm going to move the camera over. It's got a digital screen and that's where you put your filament in. You put the two ends in, join them, I believe, so it showed you on the website, but we'll hasten to see how good it does work. So we shall see. That's the unit there. See what else we have in the box. As I say, you could get the basic kit where you got a few of these. These are the sleeves that you get and you put over the filament. Okay. I believe after it's suppose like vulcanizing the two pieces together, you must take this off, obviously. Whether you cut it off or slide it off, I don't know. She'll have to find out, but I paid extra for some extra of these. Okay, and you get a USB power lead. That's the only thing I don't like. It's your USB power lead. Why they can't give you just an adapter with a longer lead on so you can go into a socket and use it, I don't know. Because obviously you have to have and it's, I don't think it's a bad lead. Let's have a look, see how long it is. No, it's not a particularly long lead. Yeah, they could have done with sending an adapter with it, but it doesn't matter. I've got a USB powered USB port here, so I can use it. Okay, so that's all what you get in the kit. What I'll do now is, I'm hoping this is as good as what they said it was. I'm going to read through the instructions. I'll bring the camera closer and I'll show you exactly the process that we do in order to join two of these pieces of filament together. So here we are. I put the sleeve on as I was showing you, and you pop that in there, okay, and then you pop that down. You layer a bleep, that's telling me now it's reached its temperature and to push the two ends together. Okay, just a little bit, not too much. You'll see them moving a bit, then leave them. Lift that up and it's joined. Now what I do is I move it on there, leave that to cool a little bit, okay, because what you don't want to do is move those from where they are, because when you move that, you can get, what you get is an offset, and it'll set where it's offset because that is molten. Okay, so what I do then, take that out, you can blow it or lay it on the top, let it cool. Okay, now remember that's hot, that's at 185 degrees thereabouts. Now as you can see, that's bonded in the center. You can't tell where the join is as such. Okay, so that's crimped that. Now what we've got to do is remove that sleeve. Now wait till it's completely cold. That's still a little bit warm. Okay, and what you do is, it has a simple trick up its sleeves as this machine, it takes it off. Okay, so what you do is you pop that in there, you shut the lid down, press it and take it out. Okay, when you take that out, you'll find out, if you turn it over, that it will have put a nice neat little cut in the back. I don't know if you can see that. It's put there. Can you see it? So all you do then is peel that off. Like that. Okay. And that is one joined piece of filament. Okay. And that will go through the extruder quite well. It's joined, it'll feed it through, and you can't pull it apart. So okay, what I'll do now is I'll set it and I'll do the ABS one. Right, here's the ABS one. Cut it at an angle, And I've put the sleeve on, it's in the centre. Now what we do is, what I was telling you before, is we touch that, go up, ABS, okay? And that'll tell us then that the temperature is going up to 220, okay? Okay, leave that, that'll flash off. Now what we're doing now is waiting for that to go up to temperature for the ABS. Now the only downfall that I see with this is it's from a cold start, it takes quite an initial amount of time in order to get it up to temperature. As you can see, it's rising very, very slowly. I don't know if you can see that. There, can you see it? You can see the speed that it's going up, 192, 193, and it's to go up to 220. But it takes as long as it takes. I can see this unit paying for itself. For the amount of, I wish I'd just had it for the amount that I've thrown away over the last few months. But we'll just have to see how this one goes now with the ABS. As I say, you can see that one that I've just done. Look. Perfect. That'll go through the extruder, not a problem whatsoever, because there's nothing on it. It's smooth, it lines it all up. As I say, and I've done two. Look, there's two. It's pretty simple once you get used to doing it. And the trick is when you push them together, you've got to feel them go together, and you don't keep pushing and pushing. You feel each side move in. That's just moving the molten plastic together. That's two faces together as it gets hot. And then once you've done that, as I say, you leave it a few seconds. It says in the instructions that it should beep again, but I've never had a beep again off it. And then I just lift it up, free it, and then I move it onto the plastic here. I don't try and move it away from it. Leave it resting somewhere where it's still level. Okay. Right. Now we've got it set for ABS with the temperature. Let's do the ABS. I find it a little bit fiddly because there's no clips like there is on the cutter that holds your filament in. Okay, so you've got to be extremely careful that you don't nip the actual filament underneath between. Now this will beep again, okay, and then you just push the two ends together a little bit. Not a lot. Okay. Once you've done that, release it. Let that cool. There we are. That's cooling. And let's go on to hips. So as you can see, press that down. It's done at the same temperature as hips anyway, so as I use it as ABS, more or less. So push it in a little bit, leave it, and then release it. Okay. And take that out and let it cool. I'll switch that off now because I won't be using any more of this, although I am going to be joining the PLA together, so I should change that. As you can see there, what I'm going to do is change that PLA, okay, 185, so that won't heat up now, that'll cool down till we've done that. Okay, now pop that in the cutter. This is what I mean. This should really have had 2 clips in there, really. Points. That's the only downfall I find with this unit, is where it actually grips your filament there, just like it does there. Holds it in place, and then just press that down. Pull that out, turn it over. You can see where it cuts it, because it there we go, one joined filament, and I can't pull that apart, but that'll go straight through the extruder, not a problem whatsoever. Okay, that's the ABS. Now let's see what the hips has done. Okay, pop that in the cutter, press it down, out it comes, turn it over. Let's see what this does. Once you get the knack of finding the split, it's easy enough. There we go, one done. Hips. Okay, there's no notching, it's all smooth. There's nothing there that'll, and I can't pull it apart, and that will go through the extruder. So hips, ABS, and 2 PLAs. Okay, so it's pretty good little joining machine. Success. The proof of the pudding will be when I actually start to join all my bits together. I'm going to do these now, so I've got quite a bit of PLA, and I have some more downstairs, so I'm going to do that. But it's set back to PLA now, and it's like anything else, it's getting used to doing it. I like the little cutting device, that's pretty good. But as you can see there, in all those filaments, it's joined them enough smoothness and lined up in order to go through the extruder. And your printer now, what you've got to remember is, as I said earlier, is when you're shutting it down, make sure that you've got it in, and the best way to do it is hold your filament there and then try and close that with that. Okay, and then when you shut it, wait for the beeps. It's telling you that it's apparently that it's temperature. Pushing, and you'll feel them pushing. Don't push in too much, because you'll end up with a big blob in there. Just pushing a little bit, so you're vulcanizing both faces together. Leave it for a few seconds, then pop that up, and I move it onto here for a simple reason. You're moving it away, you're not moving it here, because if you move them out of alignment like that, you'll end up with it offset. Okay, because it's molten and it'll start to cool. So just pop it from there onto here, enough for a few seconds, and then move it onto your surface and leave it to cool down before you cut it. Okay, right, I shall get on and do the rest of my coils. Well, that's all the joining pieces that I wanted to do. Test it out. The filaments especially that I use, and they've all come out rather well. PLA, Basic, Bamboo Labs, Zortrax, and I think that's Filamentum hips, and they've all joined perfectly. And I've just done all the bits and bats of offcuts that I had for the PLA Basic, the Bamboo Labs, the green, and it's done it okay. It's not a bad little unit, but what I will say is it's fiddly. There's no mistake on that. The cutting unit at the top, I think, is really good. What I've found out to do was, when you take it out of here out of the actual heating part of the element where it joins it together is it's fiddly in order to push it in and hold the two pieces together, especially if you've got a couple of coils, and then actually close it, because this thing, it's not heavy and it moves about on the table. So you've got a couple of coils there and you're trying to actually put that into there to join it, and then what you don't realize is one's pulled out slightly, so when you push it in you think you've pushed them together, and it inevitably it hasn't. You think it has, but it hasn't. It happened a couple of times to me, until I realized that I hold it down and then pop that cover down until it clicks. And you've got to make sure that one of these isn't out of alignment going in, because you'll nip it between the top and the base. So it's just getting used to it, and I think at about 3-4 failures on first attempt, and then after that everyone's worked perfectly. And what I did find was when it's, especially with PLA, when it's cooling, but you can do it with all of them, is I actually pop it into the top part where you cut it and leave it, because it holds it in. There's two little clips, two little raised parts at either end, and it holds it and lines it up. Wait till it cools and then just pop that down and cut it, and it's as simple as that. Yeah, I mean, just over £30, and I got lots of these, so it's not bad. I mean, I have used a little USB hub, but it's, the power supply is not great, so I have a good USB adapter. Plug it into the mains and plug the lead in from this. But I think they should have, Sunlu should have supplied not a USB cable like this, but an actual adapter you plug in. Okay, I think that's one of the things. It might have made it a little bit more expensive, but I think it would have been better. It is fiddly, but it does the job, and if it means not wasting filament or throwing pieces of filament away, as I was saying earlier with the Bamboo Labs, it's happened on all of them. I've run out of filament, and it sat there overnight. I didn't realise, and I've just gone in, changed the filament, started, and it's gone back to where it needed to go. It's brilliant. But some of my other printers, the X-Max and the 4Max, Anycubic 4Max, it's not that accurate, so you could waste a lot of filament just by guessing. The Zortrax isn't that good at putting another filament in and starting again, so runoff. So you know that you look at it and you think, oh no, I better change the reel to do this, and inevitably you've got some filament there that's useless. This will solve that problem, because that reel there will go onto the 3/4 reel that's on the A1 Mini upstairs, and I'll just carry on running that through. What I'm going to do is, I think, is I'm going to make probably a winding device. I've seen lots of them on not YouTube, but on the forums that people's designed a winding device, because if you imagine it, it's like splicing a film or a tape like we used to do, but you used to have the filament, or what you would have is the film there, and the other part of the film there, or the tape there and the tape there, and then it would run through this unit, so everything's lined up. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Just makes it a little bit easier. But that's it. So I've been waiting for this. No more wasted filament. I think it's pretty good at what it does. Let's see joining it, and let's see how it goes through the extruders. And we'll keep you updated on how it goes through the extruder. Right, well, I said on the video showing the filament connector, Sunlu Filament Connector, using it and splicing some filament. I've since actually spliced all the green filament that I had for the Bamboo Labs basic filament, the green, and it's PLA, and I've joined it onto the existing spool of the Bamboo Labs, and it's on the A1 Mini, and I thought I'd test it out on that. And I put a couple of joins in where I didn't need to, but I put them in just to see if it would pass through, and I'll show you now the printed results. Okay, right, there we are, 2 benches printed perfectly, and I think there were, to do the 2 benches, I think there was 3 joins, maybe 4, possibly 4, that's gone through there, so it works all right. The joins were fine when I connected them, so as you can see with the where I've just wound it on, it's a bit haphazard when you wind it on. You need some sort of stand that you can put one filament on and the other filament on, and possibly a little platform above it where you can actually put the unit on and then splice it. Just, it's a bit like, as I was saying earlier, with the tape splicers and the film splicers, you had the reels on either side, and then the splicer was in the middle, and that's what I think this needs. I'm going to do a little, make a little stand and put the unit on top, so that you've got either a loose roll at one side and the existing roll at the other that you're splicing onto. It just make it easier. But I've done those and it's done them perfect. It never faltered, no hiccups, no signs of it jamming, so yeah, it works okay. But as I said earlier, when I was connecting them, I had 2 or else 3 failures, I think 4 at the most, where I just happened to move while the filament was soft and it put them out of line, and once it starts to harden you can't do anything about it. So I had to redo them, but all the rest I had the 4 the PLA, ABS, which I did 2 PLAs, ABS and IPS. I did those and they had no problem whatsoever, so yes, it does work. 1 or 2 print jobs coming off. I've got a project on at the moment with the 4040 Pro and the CNC, because it's, what I find out is when I'm machining is I'm absolutely fed up of, even with the dust extractor, of having to clean the all these linear rails and the screw rods. It gets on and the linear rails have a dust seal on, so it does push some of the dust away, but the actual screw rods, it doesn't, and it can, I've had to take one out already and clean it and then put it back in, and it's not a 5-minute job. So I've 3D printed some one side. I've got to do the other side because it's variable in height, is some dust shields just to stop the dust from going out. Don't stop it from settling, because it's very difficult to actually put something on those Z rods in and the screw rods in order to cover the threads. It is what it is. To blow them off with a compressor, and especially if you've lubricated them, whatever you lubricate them with. If you lubricate them with a wet sort of lubricant like a grease or something like that, the dust will stick. So it's catch-22, but that's one of my projects coming up, and I'll keep you informed when that's coming out. Just watch for it, notification. So right, that's the end of this video. As I say, it's been a long time waiting for this. It gave me the impression when I purchased it it was going to be about 2 or 3 weeks, but unfortunately it wasn't. It's been a lot longer than that, but it's here. It works and I'm happy with it. Now let's see what the joints go through the 3D printers like. So don't forget, like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. I've had thumbs down, so it makes no difference. I just hope it showed what this unit can do. As I say, one, it is fiddly. There is some improvements that could be made to it. One with the charger or the power supply, not give it a USB lead, give it an actual plug-in one with a bit longer lead. But yeah, it does the job. So that's the conclusion of this video. As I always say at the end of the video, be safe, be careful, and bye for now. Bye.